Hi. So I promise I'm gonna get back to progress on your path readings. It's a specific reason why I have taken a break from those. But what I am about to do is messages from the angels. And what I've been doing lately is mixing this specific deck, messages from your angels deck actually, and this deck, which is the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards, mixing them together. I like the way that they mix and flow. Hi, if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for tuning into my video. If you have been here for a while, thank you for sticking with me through the transitions and the changes that will be happening very soon with my channel and how I take my readings. I'm so excited for the things that are in play, and I think it'll be beneficial for you guys too. This is what it's for everybody to be able to get their healing on. So something told me that it was gonna be some past life stuff that popped out, and there it goes. A lot of awakening of dormant gifts and talents that are lying beneath dormant within your blood. Gifts that come from your bloodline. So this is going to turn into an ancestor reading as well. We'll see. So, at the bottom of the deck is start delegating. Ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. This is Green Tara. I would just want to show you this card right here. So she's sitting here, but do you see the presence of the eye that is behind her? Heavy spiritual protection, first and foremost. I also see too, like your feminine energy is blossoming. She has a flower in her left hand, and her masculine in her left hand. This is the feminine energy, left side. Right side is your masculine. Her masculine is very open and giving. So there's a balance that's happening. And so in order to stay balanced and continue to keep this balance, don't be trying to do everything yourself. Behind that is the angel of abundance. You will receive the money that you need, and God is in charge of how it will happen. Have faith. So there's a balance coming into giving and receiving of abundance. Abundance doesn't necessarily have to be money either. Abundance is connected to health as well. So first we have Aphrodite, inner goddess. Awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. So I was talking about feminine energy and as a blossoming or flowering, and under that card is actually the word blossoming. So you're learning to be still, receive. Also on here it says dance. If you look at the word abundance, dance is in the word abundance. And we dance to music. I don't know anyone that'll just be dancing and don't hear their music, at least in your head. So think about music and what it is. It is frequencies that can bypass the physical in order to touch the unseen, which is your subconscious. And maybe you had a subconscious block on your feminine, in your feminine energy, your subconscious block when it comes to receiving in general. And why I said that this is about ancestors and bloodlines, because this card right here, Akasha, if you are not familiar with Akashic records, everyone has Akashic records. If you have a soul, you have an Akashic record. And the Akashic record is basically within you. What is not taught is how powerful your blood is, and knowing your blood type and your bloodline. It gives you a very good indication of where and who you come from, especially if you're watching this and you have melanin within you. A lot of us don't know our backgrounds because it's been swapped and switched and changed and lies and a whole bunch of other stuff. But what they can't take from you is what is running through your own DNA. And the way that you tap into this information is by studying self, sacred evolution of learning your frequencies. Learning your blood type, your bloodline, the foods you need to eat based off of that, learning your natal chart, learning the elements that make up you, which is what it is ultimately. When you think of the signs, they all correspond to the 4 elements. So you learning the elements within yourself, that means you can learn the elements on the outside of you in your reality. You're learning, it's like very much magician energy here. You bring that balance and now you can like cultivate and work and manifest. Back to this though, your Akashic records. Tapping into your Akashic records can also let you know how to heal yourself and how to heal your bloodline. Breaking generational curses is you realizing something that your family does that's been a tradition. Doesn't necessarily have to be a tradition, but you're saying, okay, so this stops with me, or this starts with me. This says you are a spiritual teacher. You have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine mission. You also learn about your purpose here on earth through your Akashic records. Your Akashic records can also reveal your ancestors as well. The next card is I also get like a phoenix rising from the ashes from this, the first 3 cards here. Some of you are spiritual teachers. Some of y'all's purpose is to help the divine feminine or help people take care of their feminine energy. So I'm talking to my feminists out there. What's goody? I'm an ecofeminist. It's a slight difference between feminism and ecofeminism. Nonetheless, we still are repping the feminine energy and equal rights for the feminine energy. Not talking about gender, because there are people who are born male, but they are comfortable and express naturally from their feminine energy. Equality for all peoples is what I'm saying. It says, take action. You're in touch with your truth in this situation, and you need to trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself. So basically, it's time to awaken this. You're being called to awaken this. I think it goes perfectly with what's going on. I'm not sure if you guys have followed along, but every now and again I will get involved in politics because I really want to understand what's going on, not just in the spiritual realm but also in the physical realm, because I mean they coexist together. So they just passed a law here in Texas where if you do not catch a pregnancy before 6 weeks, then you will basically get in trouble, some type of repercussions for getting an abortion if you're past 6 weeks pregnant. And that's what I'm getting from here. It's like everything that's going on in the world, and you're being called to step into this energy. That way you can help other women or other feminine energies to awaken to this energy and them step into their power. It's like a trickling effect. It's a specific reason. The angels want you to know that you are being awakened and risen up at this perfect time to aid in this. The next card is be strong. You are stronger than you think, and your strength will ensure a happy outcome. The Creator sent you here, and on the soul level, you knew what your mission would be, what your soul's purpose would be. But when you step into the flesh, step into the physical, you forget. Tapping into your Akashic records helps you to remember. That awakens your dormant DNA lying within your dormant information lying within your DNA. Some of you are royalty as well. I would like to say too, if you have experienced situations where people were wronging you and you really you wasn't doing anything but challenging their belief systems, and they couldn't handle it, it's because on a certain level they understood who you were, even if you didn't. I also would like to say too that these souls that you encounter, the people that did this to you were souls you encountered in the past. Some of you have like really, really, really cleared and went through the muck of your ancestral line, and you saw a lot of things, a lot of abuse of power specifically, and it sparked something within you to want to change. To do something different, to use this power, this royalty, this knowing of self, and do something positive with it. I also see too, some of you are really well or do really well with working with children, specifically little girls. You are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. You being your authentic self and expressing your feminine energy is setting an example for the little girls that are watching you, for your siblings, your little sisters, your nieces, your godchildren, as far as it trickles. I'm going to step into something else too. So, back to my melanated sisters. We are taught as little girls I would say pretty shitty things about boys, and one of them that's coming to mind is if they like you, then they're gonna be mean to you, and that's just not setting a healthy foundation for what an energy exchange should look like, in my opinion. You doing this is helping your children, specifically your daughters that you plan to have. They're going to be watching you. You're setting this example. I don't know. I'm picking up on some type of organization is not really clear yet, but this organization is specifically for helping little girls or helping women. This could even be like you working with like a shelter, a domestic violence shelter, a women's shelter, volunteering, whatever this is, you've been thinking about it more so than not. There's a blossoming happening. I also get to with this be strong, guiding children, and the blossoming. It's like you are a very fierce protector, or you once was in a past life, and so you are being called to also protect the innocence. It says you are just getting started, so have patience with yourself in the process and do not give up. You may have different beliefs about how you rear children. By rear, I mean raise. How you raise your children, how you bring them up, what type of environment you bring them up in, what type of food they eat, what type of education that they will get, what type of medicines, whether it be holistic or you still go to a Western doctor. Or Western medicine. Pharmaceuticals. That's what I'm talking about. I also see very, very deep inner child healing. Your inner child probably has not even felt safe your whole life for some of you. Especially if you grew up around people who told you shit like what I first said about if a boy likes you, then they're going to be mean to you. False. If you had people around you telling you stuff like that when you was a little kid, my heart goes out for you. If you did not have anyone telling you, even as a little girl, to trust your intuition, because when you're younger, you're more in tune with it then versus when you are going through your preteens, because we are completely programmed not to pay attention to it. Not very many people are strong enough to take the time to heal their inner child for the maternal side of their bloodline. Clear out that karma. And then give birth to another feminine. That's very powerful. When you emerge after you went through this transformation of stepping into your feminine energy, it's gonna be a lot of chitty chat. It says, do not descend because others will soon be inspired by your example. You are flying high right now, which may threaten others. Being on social media around people who get the concept of how this works, and then being out in the world, you realize that the world, it's changing and shifting. Yes, I wouldn't say slowly, but it ain't fast either. And the world still doesn't know how to take people like you, like me, like the communities that are being risen up as we speak, of women who want to hold positions of power. Again, with Texas passing that law, it's like the war on women, the war on feminine energy right now. That's why you're needed. You shifting your vibration to not be so right brains and to be balanced in the left and the right brains, in the masculine and the feminine energies. Yeah, it's a rarity. Quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. So again, earlier while I was talking about awakening those dormant gifts, dormant information, shifting your blood cells in order to heal, getting very much Scorpio energy. So first I said Aries, which was magician, and now I'm getting Scorpio, death and rebirth. The regeneration, kind of like a plant. Especially if you you could be an earth sign as well, but especially if you resonate with connecting very deeply with nature. Some of you watching this have a connection, of course, with nature, but with flowers and trees specifically. Greenery is what I'm seeing. Going outside, so it says quiet time and going outside. They're right next to each other. You have been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. Listen to the wind. Talk to the trees. Pay attention to the birds. Pay attention to the animals that show themselves to you. Pay attention to how they respond to your energy. Most animals do not see the way that we see or perceive this realm. So if they are flocking to you, that is a very good indication that your vibration is rising and you're vibrating very high. Most animals go off energy anyway because they can't see like we do. Last card is the transformation card. Butterfly Maiden. You are experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. So expect, as you blossom and spread your wings and begin to fly as your authentic self, know that great blessings are on their way to you. Also, I would like to say too, your abundance. As you blossom, your abundance and how you receive it is connected to your feminine energy. So you stepping into your feminine energy wholeheartedly is going to help you to be able to attract the things that you want and desire. I want to let's get 3 more, please, Spirit, and then we're going to wrap this reading up. The word patience is here twice. Don't rush this journey. Don't rush yourself. This is so sacred. The spiritual journey is so sacred. And I teach one thing, and that is, if you absolutely want to create an altar for yourself, I'm for it. Go for it if that's what you're being called to do. But I want you guys to remember, you are your most sacred altar. Self is your most sacred altar. You use an altar to connect to your ancestors, but your ancestors' blood is running through your veins. They are not on the outside of you, they're within you. An altar is for you to set up a specific place where you go on a regular to commune with them. It is your place of power and your place of center. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the outside of you. It's a new perspective. Designate a time and a place to connect with your ancestors, to your angels. Because I keep saying ancestors, I'm going to pull some messages from the ancestors too. So this is angels and ancestors. I was about to say medicine. Maybe this is considered medicine for some of you, but this is angels and ancestors message. I see you astral traveling. Someone likes to cloak themselves when they are astral traveling. It's not a bad thing. I actually think it's pretty powerful. And I see you like walking through the astral realms. In a sense, it looks like where she's at. Don't necessarily pay attention to this part, but going through here, the lights that you see, one day I'm gonna be able to get the visuals, but like the flashing and the lights and the figures and the swirls and stuff that you see while you're astral traveling, I see you doing that. It's what I heard was warmth. You are shining light. Okay, so let's back up. What we mean by astral traveling, consider time is not real. So what you're doing is simply going through your brain to a specific memory that you have. That is what astral traveling is. So you're going back in your brain, almost like you're pressing rewind on the TV, like back in the day. Not what Netflix do where you just click and it goes to, no. I'm talking about when you had to put in the cassette tape and hit rewinds on that tape and you saw all quickly. It's very much like that. So you're going back in your brain to this specific memory and you're being like asked to pay attention to what you see, how you feel during that memory. And so when you go back to the memory and you realize what it is that you needed to go back to the memory for, and you come back, it's like you've entered a new place in your mind that was once closed off and not accessible. So that's why I say warmth, because it's like energy is finally able to flow through that space that was once closed off. You didn't remember, you didn't understand, and that's where womb was. I said womb. Wound, a wound. That's what reprogramming your mind is, literally. You're just going back to these specific times that caused you great pain and trauma, and you're learning to love and nurture that spot, that wound, to give it love and basically nurture it back to life. Nurture yourself back to life. Yellow and orange. Yellow, solar plexus, and orange is sacral. Being confident in your sensuality. Sexuality too, since I was about to say it, someone needs to hear that you're supposed to be comfortable in your sensual and sexuality. That's part of having a human experience. Now, cards that came out on the bottom. Now is the time to learn, study, and gather information. Enjoy being a student, because in the future you will synthesize your knowledge into action. So some of you are learning. This is new for you. Self-care is popularized, yes, but we don't realize how much or the lack thereof of the self-care that was through specific households. And I say that because everyone isn't raised the same. Some of you have mothers that was working so much, or is working, or always doing things for other people, to where they don't really have time to do much for themselves. And they say, like, putting yourself first feels like it makes you feel pretty shitty in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie to you. You are a student of learning how to take care of yourself, especially if you have a mother wound. The next card is this one right here, is Desiree. No conditions aren't favorable right now. Wait and look into other options and ask the angels to help and guide and comfort you. That, to me, is still tying into you not really taking action at this time, and really taking the time to go in and connect with your feminine energy to get answers. And getting High Priestess energy here as well. That's Pisces energy, where you're sitting and meditating and you're receiving divine inspiration, divine guidance. I just heard, it sounded like my grandma, to be honest, when she said your steps are being ordered. But in order to be able to receive the next steps, you have to go within, tap into your intuition, and then receive what you need. And then I bet on it that when you receive the information, the clarity will come that you need in order to make you feel more confident to go forward and take action into whatever you're being called, whichever perspective or situation fits you. The last card, which I love that we're ending on this, is Infinite Supply. I would also like to bring to your attention that this is purple, your crown chakra. That's Kundalini, awakening. You are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. She looks very much at peace. What I get from this is also some of you may worry or wonder, how are you going to generate income if you are within this feminine energy of receiving? And what I just heard was the Creator wants to show you out. And then I just heard, be still and know that I am God. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. If you are in a place where you still can't comprehend this, you're slightly anxious because you know something good is happening, but you're not really seeing any evidence in the physical, ask your angels and your angels, your ancestors, your spirit team to help you, to guide you. I would also like to say too, at your altar, when you are connecting in your altar or sitting and contemplating and being quiet and meditating within yourself, call them around you and ask them to settle that energy. And so even right here on this card, I see a green orb. It reminds me of Archangel Raphael. Archangel Raphael is really good about coming in and helping to clear out chakras and any lower vibrating energy. I do have a TikTok video on my TikTok where I explain how to know the signs of Archangel Raphael and how to work with him, along with the other archangels. If you're interested, it's on my TikTok. Ancestors. So I'm only gonna pull one of these, and there it goes. What I will say too is, when I was meditating last night, someone's ancestor came to me. I'm going to tell you the things that I saw before I try to see exactly what the message was. I saw TP. The first lady, it was two ladies. The first lady that showed themselves to me had a really, really, really big afro. Like, it started like up here, as wide as my arms are. That's how big her afro was. But she had like some type of hair accessories in it, and she had a scarf tied right in it to give it this silhouette shape. Very hippie-like energy. She was definitely from the 60s or 70s, or she was alive during that time. She had a vest on, very colorful and everything. That was one ancestor I saw. The other ancestor was, it reminded me of tribes in Africa that I've seen. One thing that I saw that was very prominent was the ears, the tribe that puts the really, really, really big things in their ears to stretch them. And now I'm getting, okay, so the way that her hair was, it was like almost shaved in the back, or short or gone in the back, but she had like almost like a chili bowl I don't know if they were braids or twists, but you know, they they look very similar to locks, and they had like some type of dirt or clay or you know some type of paste that they make to protect their hair. So those are the two ancestors that I saw. What I'm hearing now too is like that's your totem. It's showing you not just some of your past lives that you've been through. Maybe you've connected with these people in the past life. They were your relatives in the past life. Take it as how it resonates. Um, but it's showing you like I also heard too some of the strongest in your bloodline. Some of the ones that were on their way to doing what you are being called to do now. Pay attention, especially with you stepping into your divine feminine energy. You're opening up more and more and more to be able to receive this information. So start paying attention to if you start seeing faces. Some of you are clairvoyant, and when you look into the mirror long enough, make sure you're locking your mirrors and calling in your spiritual protection when you're doing this type of work. And if you are new to it, please don't watch this video and hop right into doing it because it has the possibility of going wrong. But I see some of you may be more advanced than others, but I see you in the mirror and you can see faces. Like you can look into your own eye and start seeing distorted faces. Don't be alarmed. Also see too, like your clairvoyance is opening up very, 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 very much, and you could just be sitting and meditating in silence and you start seeing and contorting faces. Those are your ancestors. Some of them aren't people, I would like to add. You might start seeing dragon faces and eyes watching you in random places. I think I talked about the eye that was watching. Don't be alarmed by this. This is your spiritual protection and it's also your ancestors. If you can start seeing shapes and figures, start researching what it is that you're seeing to understand who you are and where you came from. Honor the lights. So at the bottom, let's go to this first, is the star of Venus. The sensitivity, the opening up, you being able to perceive your world on the outside very differently because you're becoming sensitive. It reminds me of the start delegating. Becoming sensitive means you need to be careful about people zapping your energy and all because they can, on an energetic level, feel that you are empathic. Don't shy away from this too, is what I just heard. The light and the darkness is going to attract all things, including dark. You cannot have one without the other. So honoring your lights, don't shy away from being seen. Even if you went through experiences, traumatic experiences that forced you to step into this energy, for some of you, honor it. Seven, this is the number 43, that's 7. That's completion. I heard a tribe leader, but specifically a leadership. You taking care of yourself, stepping into your divine feminine energy, awakening these gifts that you have, stepping into your personal power. That is how you honor your light. I also want to take the time out to say too that the Creator is also honoring your light. And I believe that has something to do with when you shift and transition and change and step into this energy, the blessings are going to come because the Creator sees you honoring your light, honoring your mission, honoring why the Creator decided to place you here on earth, and you being in this exact moment watching this exact video. It is a high place of honor. And you should look at it that way and look at yourself that way. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know in the comments if you guys want this to be a regular reading that I upload with. I will get back to the Progress on Your Path for the Life Path as soon as I get word that that's what I need to do. But until next time, I will see you guys. I love you. Positive vibes.